Hey, what's going on, everybody? The last video I put out, I kind of brought this car up in it, and but Ralph brought it by because it had a coolant leak going on. We thought we had it isolated, so I ordered the part for it. Well, the car's sat here for a couple of days, and I hadn't been out in the garage. I came out to the garage, man, I noticed I had coolant all over the floor of my garage. So I go back underneath there and look, and I'm seeing where coolant's dripping down between the timing cover and front of the block. And so I got on the phone with Ralph and asked him exactly what has happened, blah, 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 with the radiators, the water pumps, stuff like that. So basically, I think 8 months ago, he had a radiator going out because he uses this car for work. A lot of times he's at construction sites or stuff like that. And he's the one who's usually sitting there idling and got the hood up and making sure people don't do anything stupid around construction sites. And he's got other things he does too. He enjoys his job. Well, that radiator blew at the bottom. And so he had it replaced. I asked him, did it get hot while it was running when it happened? He goes, no, not that I know of. I said, all right. So I had to really find out the whole story, what was going on, because these leaks didn't start until after he put the second radiator in and second water pump. So I got that part of the story on the first radiator. So he put radiator, water pump. Then he had a fan blade go through the new radiator he had. So he had to go out and buy another radiator, set of fans for it. And when he put it back all together, he knows there was other leaks going on after the car sat for a couple days. So when he brought it to my house and Ethan and I looked at it, the only leak we could find was on the lower radiator hose going to the oil cooler. And on these cars, if you have an oil cooler on it, your bottom radiator hose looks something like this. And it's got a couple things that comes through here, branches off, this goes down to the oil cooler. Well, the original ones are plastic. And on his, there's a ridge that comes around here, and it was starting to seep through. So Ethan and I figured we isolated the problem. So I ordered the hose and everything for it. Like I said, I came out to the garage a couple days later, and with the vehicle not being under pressurized with the coolant system, it was leaking out between the timing cover and the front of the block. So I got more in depth with Ralph on what all he did, how many times he's taken this apart, put it back together. And I think what part of might have happened was when he took the water pump off, put another one on, then down the road he put the water pump off, another one on, and not torquing the bolts back right. I think it finally just got to the point where it blew the O-ring seal on the timing cover going to the block. Good thing is the gas is not that much. The bad thing is it's 6.5 hour job. So most of this is labor. So I really had to call him and to let him know that we did find the leaks. And he understood. He's put a lot of money in this car in the past 8-9 months. And I told him there's a couple options we can do for now. And he's like, no, let's go ahead and fix it. Let's get it done right. So that's what we're getting ready to do. And one thing I didn't like though, when I ordered the lower hose for this thing is, and this has happened with me before on the Durangos, unless you go somewhere cheap on Amazon or something like this, you can't get this part. You've got to buy the whole hose assembly, which I think is kind of messed up, but I guess that's the way they make money. But at least we got this part. So now the fun begins. tear all this thing off. I mean, I've been through this before when we went through the motor with the cam and lifter issue. So I know basically how all this come off. Now the last time we got that far into it, this wasn't on there, so now this has to come off. So let's get started on my 6.5 hour journey of tearing this thing down, putting new O-ring seals in it, and getting it back together, because I like to get this done, test drove, and back to him by Sunday. So let's get started. All right, we got the timing cover off, and I can tell in a couple areas where it was leaking at. It's leaking through here, and leaking through here. So let's get that one out and put the new one in. All right, guys, we're halfway through this. Like I said, it takes a little bit of time. 6.5 hours worth of labor. But I'm doing it in little pieces at a time. I'm not like I used to. I can go in there and knock these things out. We can thank the good old rheumatoid arthritis for that one. But we make the best of it. So I got the new seal on for the timing cover. I cleaned the surface off, make sure it was good. This is the old one that came out. So up in there you can see there was some debris and stuff. That's probably what it started leaking out. So now the fun part. Let's put it all back together. Well, we're getting there, guys. Got the water pump back on. My balancer back on. Idler pulley, tensioner pulley. Got the new lower hose on with the metal T in it. So I hope this will last him a long time. But the main thing on this, man, just take your time. And try not to rush it. I mean, if I had a lift, it'd probably be a little bit easier. But I don't, because these things can be taken out either through the front, as far as the radiator goes, or out through the bottom. But you do what you can do with what you've got. And for me, this is kind of easier, just opening the whole front up. I don't disconnect anything as far as the AC goes. I got it tied off over to here. And this kind of lets me have all the room I want here. But yeah, we're a little over halfway, probably 3/4 through the process. Getting ready to install the radiator. Get that in, get it all bolted back up. Get like the fans back in. And well, let's just keep trucking. I just about got it buttoned up. Got it running right now. Let it get the temperature. Checking for leaks. I don't want to put the nose and everything back on if I still got a leak issue going on. But let's see how she's doing so far. Down in there is where it was leaking at, between the timing cover and the block. And right now it appears to be that it's not leaking, which is a plus. Look at the other side. Got no leaking going there. Don't see anything leaking down here. No leaks there. Don't see any leaks there. Let's see, the oil cooler hose looks good, no leaks there. So everything looks good. Probably about another hour putting stuff together, maybe, if that. Which is all this, which is the bumper cover, the push bar. So far she's doing good. Like I said, no leaks. She's up to operating temperature now. Thermostat should be opening up any minute. Yeah, yep, it just kicked on. So I'm going to call it a day. Appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you down the road.